Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with trumpeter and singer Valeria Kuna of the Budapest, Hungary-based jazz fusion band KunaTones. She talked to us from her home base in Hungary as COVID slows down and the band's latest 2022 CD, Between the Past and Future, is out in earnest. The mainly brass, instrumental-based band makes funk, Latin, jazz, rock-styled music with improvisational elements, and it's full of music inspired by the 60s and 70s with modern jazz effects. It's tasty and good, so enjoy this interview.
Hi, I'm Valeria Kuna from KunaTones.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for taking a minute out today.
Nice to meet you too. It's my pleasure.
Cool. So where exactly are you located in the world?
Hungary.
Okay.
In the middle of Europe.
All right. Well, so how's everything going there with COVID and just everything in general?
It was very hard during the pandemic, but I think we are started to see the end of the tunnel,
Yeah.
So it's getting better and better every day.
Wonderful. So I guess that with that kind of being the starting point here, you have a new album, Between Past and Future. Talk to me a little bit about what it means to have new music out now. Hopefully we're at the end of this pandemic and live shows and things can open up for you.
Yeah, when we started to work on this new album, we never had an idea that it's gonna be in the middle of the pandemic. So it was like we wanted to create something new, something fresh for us. But when the COVID hit, it became more meaningful to us because we needed to get closure with our past, and we wanted to see a brighter future. So during the pandemic, to create new music, it was like a healing process for, I think, not only for us, but for a lot of musicians, a lot of artists out there everywhere in the world. So we really think that now, when we are looking at the future and when we are looking at, on this album, we see that we had a very great, wonderful and adventurous journey. But now we are more open to the public, to our new ideas, and it comes from a place where we were really desperate, but now it's everything just fine and getting better, and we are just happy to be alive.
Wonderful. So do you have any hopes for any live shows coming up here in the near future?
Of course, and we already have some concerts in our calendar. When we finish an album, we immediately start to work on a new one. So we can never stop. And the new concert, we have a debut concert in March, in 1.5 months from now. And there will be a lot of songs from this album that we were just talking about, Between Past and Future, and we already have a full new show to perform, to show to the audience. So we are really excited about it, and we hope that we can go with this new program, new music all over the world.
So talk to me about the band. How did this band start? When did it happen? And kind of what brought you together?
To speak about our history is really, really difficult because we are brothers, siblings in this band, the Kuna siblings. My 3 brothers and me, we are the foundation of this band called KunaTones. This is where the name comes from. Kuna, like our family name, and tones, this our voices, our sound, our musical expressions. This is the KunaTones. Of course, we have other musicians as well, our friends, and they are sort of our family already. So speaking about their history, it goes back a long way because we started to learn music when we were 3, 4, 5 years old. Our father is a music teacher, so that's how we get involved with brass instruments. And as we evolved and developed ourselves in the musical field, we started to feel that we need a jazz band that can show how we really feel about music. So in 2012, after many years in show business, we started to build our own band called Fortissimo Jazz Orchestra. That was our name before. It was really, really difficult because we are playing a lot of music. We are classical, we get classical education. So we have a classical music band, we have a folk music band, we have a world music band, and we have a jazz band, of course. And we wanted to separate everything. So we got rid of the name Fortissimo and just started KunaTones 2 years ago.
That's awesome. I see some of your influences, Chick Corea, Maynard Ferguson. Was there anybody else that really influenced the way that you approach music?
There are many, of course, and we are still looking for inspirations from the music lovers. I really love Wynton Marsalis. He's one of my favorite. Because I really like how he approaches music, no matter if it's jazz or classic. He's so humble and so professional. I'm just happy that I had the chance to see him performing live here in Hungary before the pandemic. So it was an experience for a lifetime. And of course, the Becker brothers, they are a big inspiration for us. As you mentioned, Maynard Ferguson and Chase, we grew up on their music. And from another instrument, we really like an Armenian artist called Tigran. I don't know if you heard about him, but he's really, really unique, and his sound and his music is so unique and inspirational. Although he is not playing on brass instruments, this is his only fault.
Yeah. What's the audience reception like in where you're at in Hungary? How do people take to your music?
In Hungary, brass instruments are not so mainstream, I must add that. But the Hungarian people are really open-minded when it comes to jazz. We have a lot of jazz bands. We have very good jazz clubs in here. So I consider us being very lucky in this field, because even if it's not their first choice, listening to trumpet and trombone and French horn, if it comes to jazz here in Hungary, but when they hear it, when they meet with us on a concerts and any other occasions, it's really good, and we have a very nice reception.
So what do you like the best about being a musician? What's the greatest part about you playing music and then getting to do it with the group?
Oh, it's a tough question, I must say. Actually, I don't know how it is to be anything else rather than musician, because I started to learn music when I was 4 years old, so I don't remember the first 4 years of my life.
Yeah.
I think that it's really good that we can express ourselves in the music world. Our feelings as a creative artist, that we are not only playing music, we are creating music, we are writing our own songs, we are writing our own lyrics. It's really good that we can express our feelings in that way. It's like you are in a psychological session,
Yeah.
If you are sad, you can write music about it. If you are happy, you can write music about it. So I think we can save a lot of money, because we don't need to go to a therapist, we just write music.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it. What was the first live show that you saw growing up that really inspired you?
As I mentioned, we also trained as classical musicians, so my first inspiration from this field was a Maurice André concert. He was one of the greatest classical trumpetists in the world. And if it comes to jazz, unfortunately, it wasn't a concert, because I never had the chance to see them performing live. But when I saw a Chase concert, it was so... I can't even describe it with words. It was something so deeply touching for me that I immediately decided that no matter what, I'm a singer first of all, but no matter what, I have to play this. I have to do this with my brothers. We have to find a way to show the world how great and powerful brass instruments can be.
This has been great. Thank you very much for opening up about the band and your new music. Good luck with everything as we move forward.
Well, thank you so very much for the opportunity.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Budapest, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. Thanks to Valeria for her time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.